Gallimera, Gallimera, Gallimera. Good morning, good morning, good morning. I must apologise for my early broadcast this morning, but Jane has got a busy day. She is off guiding today, and she's been up since the crack of dawn, since literally 6:30 this morning, getting sorted and organised because she has to be very early picking up guests to take them for a day trip up to the shipwreck. So she's up there, literally going to be up there all day. So anyway, that's me. Also up out of bed early. It was a bit like the Durrells just before I came on. Cats and chickens everywhere. There's the little kitten, little Pickles at the moment. He's becoming such an adventurous little character at the moment, bless him. Running about, getting into mischief. You've just missed all the chickens coming up feeding. They're now all hovering over on the far side of the real estate. But anyway, so quite a little bit to talk about this morning. It's not all good news, I'll tell you that now. It shows the darker side of life here in Zakynthos and also in Greece. But anyway, that's a look at the real estate. That's a look at the weather today. Big shout out to Sam Curtis over there in Brighton, who's with us this morning. Who have I got round at my feet? And there's Domino down there. There's little Pickles down there. Oh, he's playing with Domino, bless him. And then over there is the grand old lady, Nelly. And I've moved myself around this morning simply because the sun is so bright this morning. It's difficult to see on the screen and all the good locations. I'm afraid the cats are in there at the moment, occupying themselves there. Right, so I am, let me just move myself around a bit more, because I am actually, shall we say, the sun is well and truly in the way. Just move you around there, Nelly, and I'll just move round here. There we go. I think that's it sorted. Yes, I think you can see me still, although I'm a little bit in shadow because of the sunshine coming from behind me. Morning, Mr. Matthews. He says it's raining there today in the UK. Also as well, we got the football today as well, haven't we? England versus Scotland. That's going to be an interesting game, like the old internationals back in the 1970s, before they banned them after Scotland took the goalposts and half the pitch with them back to Scotland. So we'll see how that all pans out for the Euro today. Right, let's get down to the news then. Right, it's the 18th of June. It's a Friday. I can't believe how this month is going just so quickly at the moment. Big shout out to the lovely Amanda. She sent the weather this morning. And looking at Dave Matthews' weather forecast in the UK. Guess what, Dave? Amanda says, morning Ginge, Friday's weather, chance of thunderstorms in places. Ooh, highs of 28, but it's going to feel like 31. Have a great day, and I certainly will. Just to let you know, flights today at the airport, it is very busy today. We've got one flight in from Athens, one in from Corfu, 3 flights in from Amsterdam in the Netherlands. We've got 4 flights in from Poland, 1 from Warsaw, 2 from Gdansk, and 1 from Popslan, wherever that is in Poland. We've also got 1 flight in from Milan, 1 flight in from Brussels, 1 flight in from Vienna, and we also have 2 flights in from the Czech Republic as well today. So it's reasonably busy down at the airport today. Can I just say, last night I was out in Sillavi last night in Magdalena's, dropping off the recording of the show that I did on the Wednesday. Met 2 lovely, delightful ladies who are pastry chefs at the moment. They're both originally from Sweden. They've been studying chefing in Switzerland, and they're at the moment at the Aqua Bay Hotel. And they were saying that they were getting ready for a big arrival of guests today in their hotel. So we might see a few more people on the street in Sillavi tonight, mainly from Holland, they said, but also they're obviously waiting arrivals from Scandinavia as well, and they're on the way at some point as well. Now, in the last 24 hours, COVID infections are actually down. We had 519 new infections reported across Greece, which was down on the day before at 549. There were 2 cases identified at checks into the country. That was up on the day before. Again, as always, at the moment, they're only giving national stats as in if anybody hits double figures in the way of infections at the moment. Still no new infections here on Zakynthos. That still puts us with 6 infections since the beginning of June. As for deaths, unfortunately, deaths have crept up a little bit. I reported to you the other day we had 13 deaths across the country. Well, that number has risen to 16 new deaths across the country, bringing the total of deaths that we've had to 12,494. And once again, our condolences to those people that are affected. When it comes to critical cases, that's also crept up a little bit, but only by 320 on the previous report, now at 320 on the previous report, now at 321. 212 of those are male, 109 of those are female. Again, that number has gone up a little bit with the critical cases. Anyway, today's news then, as I said, today's news is interesting. It's mainly crime, I'll tell you that, but we're not starting off with crime. We're looking at air traffic at the moment here into Greece. Air traffic in Greece picked up strongly in May as the government eased restrictions on travel at the start of the vital summer tourist season. That's what the Civil Aviation Authority announced on Wednesday when they released their data for the month of May. Now, international arrivals jumped 25-fold in May to 383,107, which was up on last year, where last year there was only 14,273 in the same month. Now, during the first phase of the coronavirus, coronavirus pandemic, what was going on then. Anyway, Greece, which just reminds you, generates about a fifth of its economy output is from tourism. It suffered its most severe fall on a record in 2020 as the coronavirus halted international travel, with arrivals down by 75% on the previous year. They also said that this year, as vaccination campaigns in Greece and many other countries have picked up, the government is expecting a 50% increase on the rise to last year's levels. Anyway, it said overall figures showed that traffic at Greek airports was still down 48% for the first 5 months of the year. So again, we still need the British to arrive. That's the bottom line of it. We need Boris to make his mind up. Come on, Boris, get Greece on the green and let's get people over here on holiday. All right. No, there's a lot of people still wanting to get here and they are desperate to come here at the moment, and it's all in your hands. Anyway, interestingly, the Committee of Infectious Disease Specialists proposed new lifting of measures here in Greece for the coronavirus and gives a green light, get this, for the opening of indoor cinemas, playgrounds, as well as hammams, where you can go and bathe in the waters, and also massage services as well. Now, according to information from the committee's report, which mentions the opening of cinemas, this is indoor cinemas, outdoor cinemas already are open. They're talking about from the 1st of July. And those indoor cinemas will be allowed to have a 50% capacity. And entry into those cinemas, interestingly, is either you're fully vaccinated or you have to present a self-test result. So there we go. Already you can see that is now starting to happen. That they are now going to segregate those that are vaccinated from those that are not, even though you can still self-test if you want to go to the pictures. However, I must admit, I might be back at work with a bit of luck, maybe. Sometime, well, I don't know, no, not by the 1st of July, that's for sure. But anyway, I'd sooner watch a film outdoors in the summer than watching it indoors. That's all I'm going to say. Anyway, it is hoped that on Saturday, the 19th of July, the green light is expected. 19th of June, that is tomorrow. I do apologise. That the green light is expected for an increase in the number of customers allowed into retail stores At the moment, it is only one person per 25 square metres. The Greek government is now going to say one person per 16 square metres. So technically that means more people can go into shops. But you know what? I think all of that is just one hell of an academic exercise. There's not many shops that you go into here where, to be honest, they're making sure that they've got the exact right amountage for the square footage of people. We're not seeing enough people anyway to warrant that. So if you ask me, it's another blasé bollocks kind of rule that makes like you're doing something when in fact you're not doing anything. What we want to hear, Mr. Mitsotakis, is that bars and restaurants can now serve people inside. People can sit down, have a meal indoors, not freeze to death outside because it's a bit chilly at night. That's the kind of restrictions that we want to see lifted, not the fact that one person per 25 square metres is now being risen or decreased to one person per 16 square metres. So again, a load of rubbish regulations that mean diddly squat, but it makes out we're doing something fantastic to keep us all safe. I'm having a rant this morning, as you can see. Anyway, the other thing which also made me kind of smile and laugh is they're now talking about the opening of outdoor playgrounds and amusement parks. Well, let's get this clear. Every outdoor playground that I have seen here in Zakynthos, the kids are still playing on the swings. Mums and dads are taking their children there. So again, another one of these rules that they kind of never really properly enforced the rule in the first place, but they're making out somehow, oh, we're all for the family now. We're going to let you go back into the park with your children and you can go swing on the swings and go on the roundabout and on the seesaw. Again, absolute rubbish. The only thing of interest is amusement parks are now allowed to open. We don't really have what I would call amusement parks here in Greece, although we have a lot of water parks. I'm wondering, I'm not even sure if, I know the water park here, the main water park here has been closed. A lot of the all-inclusive hotels, they have their own mini water parks within their hotels. I'm not sure if those have been up and running, but anyway, it might mean that those might now start to operate again. Not that they've got many people to go on the rides. It's not about having basically them open. It's about the people that are actually going to go and actually use them. That's the fine thing. And the last thing, again, the massage services, make of that what you will. Massage services and hammams now are going to be open. But anyway, the final announcement on this becoming fact is this afternoon. The Minister of Civil Protection, Mr. Nikos Harialis, he will make the announcement this afternoon. But I'm hoping he might actually lift some of these other restrictions, basically with people being allowed inside of buildings, etc. And inside restaurants and bars, that we can have people indoors instead of just all outdoors. But anyway, we'll wait and see this afternoon. Now, right, the final wash up now from the before the prosecutor and the courts from the suspects of the murder case of Dimis's wife. That has now been kind of clarified, and there's been a lot going on in there within the last few days. So I'm just going to go through what's been reported. Anyway, 4 suspects out of the 8 arrested in connection with the murder of Christina, the 37-year-old wife of businessman Dimis, on Zakynthos in June. They were ordered to remain in pre-trial detention after presenting their testimonies. Now, the 4 individuals are the 39-year-old alleged shooter, a 38-year-old who allegedly drove the getaway motorcycle used by the perpetrators, a 37-year-old who is believed to be the driver of the boat that transported the perpetrators from Zakynthos to Pyrgos, a 27-year-old woman who is believed to have acted as a lookout. They have all been confined to basically wait in a prison until the proper trial then fully starts. Now, the other 4, they were released with restrictions. The police acted on information provided by the man who was killed, 53-year-old businessman Dimis, before they Also, he was gunned down by assailants early last month. The husband, actually, Dimis, was injured in that 2020 attack. So that is the court case at the moment. It's all to do with that attack and not his actual murder, which is obviously still an ongoing investigation at the moment. Anyway, just to remind you that 3 of the suspects were actually arrested on Zakynthos. 3 were arrested in Attica. 1 was arrested in Pyrgos in the Peloponnese. One of them, who was the businessman who owned the boat, who's part of a large shipping family who lives in Monaco, it was revealed that he had been cooperative through the investigation. However, there has been no mention as to whether the warrant for his arrest was rescinded or not. That is still an ongoing bit of information that hasn't really been reported at the moment. However, interestingly, the Zakynthos press released a video interview by a gentleman by the name of Paul Angelis. Now, Paul Angelis is an alleged instigator of the murder of Christina, the wife of the businessman Dimis. Now, he broke his silence and he spoke exclusively on Ionian TV, which is based here in Zakynthos. He claims that the whole case, he says, is based on an unreliable witness who he stresses should be classed as an accused, and states that they participated in the commission of the crime. Mr. Angelis claims that he is also innocent in the case of the robbery of 500,000 euros from the mayor as well. Finally, he also claims that he has confidence in the Greek justice system so that in the end it should prevail. But anyway, at the moment, it's only a videoed interview. At the moment, I'm hoping that there will be a transcript of that so I can have a little look through that transcript and find out what he actually has to say. But interestingly, if he's involved in the robbery of the 500,000 euros, that involved an ex-policeman who was subsequently jailed, and also an Albanian accomplice that was jailed as well. So again, the whole case of everything just seems to get more and more intriguing. Also, as well, this afternoon, a resident of Zakynthos who was arrested on May the 31st and charged with drug and trafficking and illegal possession of weapons, he's going to be led before the Zakynthos investigator as well. Now, this case came to prominence after a coordinated operation of the Zakynthos Security Department Police and also the Dias Group. And then Dias Group, for those that don't know, they're the guys who ride around on the motorcycles. They're kind of 2 separate police departments within the overall police operation here on the island. Now, they identified and arrested a citizen. They later raided that citizen's house, and in the presence of court officials in that house, they found and confiscated packages of cocaine. They also found hemp as well. Plus, as well, they found 2 firearms, a 357 Magnum, most powerful handgun in the world, and also a 7.65 caliber pistol as well with ammunition. So again, it's all been happening here in the way of crime here on the island. But not only that, the other massive story at the moment across Greece at the moment is the case of the 32-year-old pilot who has now reportedly confessed to murdering his 20-year-old British Greek wife in their home in an Athens suburb last month. Now, you might remember there was an absolute outrage about this girl who was murdered. And according to sources, the suspects told investigators that he had killed Caroline Crouch after she had threatened to leave him and to take their 11-month-old infant with them following an argument. He is also said to have confessed to staging the scene of the crime to back up his story, in that the 20-year-old was beaten and strangled by 3 robbers looking for cash and valuables in the house. The thing that really caused the alarm bells was the fact that they would tie him up to a chair. They would he'd supposedly shown them where over 30,000 euros had been hidden inside the apartment, and that they then tied her up and basically strangled her by putting cloth into her mouth while they obviously ransacked the house and took the money. And again, a lot of people were kind of saying, well, some of this doesn't really quite stack up. But anyway, can't say any more than that, because now obviously a full trial is going to be underway here in Greece. It's going to be very interesting to see what the outcome of that trial is going to be. And once again, not showing the nicer side of life here in Greece. And interestingly, another big story here at the moment in Greece is about 8 Bulgarian Roma. They were arrested in the northern port city of Thessaloniki and indicted by the public prosecutor on Wednesday for exploiting their children and exposing them to danger. That emerged yesterday. And according to the charges, they forced their children to beg on the streets of Thessaloniki. They were also told to go and look for food in garbage cans. And they were also used the profits of their begging to go and gamble at a casino in Bulgaria. Anyway, the arrests were made after a 4-month investigation by Thessaloniki's organised crime subdivision. The case involved the exploitation of children from the age of 8 up to the age of 11. So again, that's another case that's hit the headlines here in Greece. Anyway, any happy news I can hear you say? Yes, there is some happy news. The 2 tennis players, Stefanos Tsipras and also Maria Sakkari, they've been chosen officially by the International Tennis Federation, the ITF, to compete for Greece in the Tokyo Olympics that is going to be starting in July. Now, this decision means that the 2 giant tennis champions who had a tremendous weekend last week at the Roland Garros tennis tournament could actually bring medals to Greece at the top sporting event of the world, as they describe it, the Olympics. Anyway, the 2 players will not only play in their respective singles categories, but they're also going to be paired together to play in the mixed doubles tournament as well, which, to be honest, I think that will be really, really good to watch. Anyway, the president of the Hellenic Olympic Committee, and he's also a member of the International Olympic Committee, Spiros Kapoulos, he said, I'm very happy that Maria and Stefanos will wear the Greek jersey and will represent our country at the Tokyo Olympics. I wonder if there might be a little bit of matchmaking going on there as well. What do you reckon? No, just me surmising. But anyway, fantastic. A little bit of good news when we're surrounded by nothing but grimness as well. Right, let's have a look. I can see a few people asking questions about today. Just to let you know, because of what's going on at the moment, I'm not going to be doing a request and inspiration show this afternoon. Normally I would do that show from 3 o'clock until 5. I'm resting that show now because I'm finding I'm becoming very busy and time is short when it comes to me doing my dance anthem show, which is still going to go ahead tonight at 9 o'clock Greek time, 7 o'clock UK time. That will be on air. I know the football's kicking off at 10 o'clock our time here, 8 o'clock in the UK. So I'm going to be jumping between the two. So anyway, the Dance Anthem show is on tonight, 7 p.m. in the UK. It will be repeated on tomorrow night, Saturday night, again at 7 p.m. Tomorrow night on Saturday as well, as far as I'm aware. Okay. So I won't be doing the requests and inspirations. Can I say yesterday it was such a pleasure to go into Magdalena's yesterday and put the show that I did on Wednesday night, the live broadcast, that went up onto the screens as a recorded broadcast because I backed it up, and now they can play that at their will in the bar when nothing's going on. And to be honest, the bar last night was not very busy. There was a few but not many. And again, we are missing you Brits, that is for sure. Anyway, let's have a quick look and see who's tuning in at the moment. Sue Saint is there. She says, hello. Mandy Jolly Prev Hatton is also saying, Gallimere and Ginge, nice to talk to you, Mandy. Dave Burns says, Merga MGC, summer's coming. Thank you there, Dave. Hopefully we'll see you in the summer at some point. I'm not sure if you're going to be allowed to do any DJing at rescues in that summer because of the changes with Brexit and everything else that's gone on, and now that they're hotting up on the rules, but we'll wait and see what happens. Anyway, Catherine Ling is also watching as well. Nice to see you tuning in from the island. Dave Matthews says, see Gordon Ramsay, Gino, and the others, and the other one on our TV. Well, they must be talking about the football. That's all I can say. He's jumping about again. Sam Curtis is watching. He says, from a very wet Brighton, looking forward to your show later, and also the dance anthems. The dance anthems definitely on there, Sam. But the other show, I'm resting that at the moment because of I just find at the moment I'm getting really busy at the moment, and I have to concentrate on those other two shows. And again, I've got to start trying to find ways to work around if I do go back to work at some point as well. Let's have a look. Anybody else tuning in? Well, I'm going to leave it there. Just to let you know, I'll keep my ear to the ground if I hear of anything happening. At the moment, we're hoping that some more restrictions are going to be lifted this afternoon, but the restriction we all want properly lifting is allowing people inside of bars and restaurants here in Greece instead of sitting outside with music being piped outside. Once we can get people indoors, I know for Magdalena's there's a lot more we can do, but again, we're still dependent on people. We are. You actually realise now, seeing the way things are, and when we look at the amount of flights that are coming in, just how much of an impact the UK market not being here is having on the whole demographic of this island. It really is incredible. I don't think we realise just how much we actually bring in from the UK at the moment. So again, we're just going to, fingers crossed, legs crossed, knees crossed, everything crossed, that Boris is going to come to some senses and obviously lift some of these travel restrictions, and we can get people back here, try and save not only the British tourism industry, but also British Airlines, British holiday companies that are working abroad. And also the fact is, it should be all right to be able to travel, even if you've had both in vaccinations, even if you do test negative. It should be all right to be able to come and visit, and it should be all right to make your decision as to whether you feel safe enough to travel, rather some bureaucrat in London who makes that decision for you. However, they're the people that are still earning their money. They're still the people who seems to be one rule for them, another rule for us, who still seem to get about, swanning off down to Cornwall and then going off to NATO conferences and then off to other meetings in other foreign countries, all to get a trade deal. So again, we just want to see you guys back here, enjoying your holiday, having a good time, forgetting about what's going on for a little while back home, and then obviously going home, not having to quarantine, not having to get tested to leave, going home, and then obviously getting back to work or getting back to sorting out what you're going to do if you still have a job, etc. But anyway, that's it. I'm going to stop now because I'm rambling, and I will speak to you again soon. You take care and have a great day. Ta-ra.